Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today on this beautiful Saturday morning. Oh, you see the fish jumping in the pond. Did you see that?
Wow, there it is.
How
right
about
there.
that?
It's all coming together.
It is coming together. That was a big fish. He's
Might
happy.
be a tarpon.
Maybe. We'd go fishing in that later. But not before we get into this amazing 11 race card today.
What a segue.
It's exciting, yeah. We've got Ron in the back warming up. We've got Brian here. Of course, I'm Samantha, and we've got 11 races, some really strong competitive fields, and that rainbow, it's building, Brian.
Yeah, 125 is the estimated jackpot. They got over that guesstimate yesterday at 100, and there you can see 61.7 is in play, and should be a big Saturday. We've got a firm turf course, a fast main track, Tapeta as well. So, handle should be very, very good on that rainbow. And you're starting to see that now. I think things are increasing a little bit by the day with, championship meet kind of connections coming in.
Right.
Riley Mott's name's in the entry box today. Great to see him as he was here last winter. He's going to be here again this winter, and one of his better horses we'll see later on today as well. So you're just starting, when you thumb through the entries, it's more and more. We saw Brian Lynch in the box and Brendan Walsh, and of course Todd Pletcher for a few weeks now. So it's all right in front of us.
It is. And what also is right in front of us is the early pick 5, and the guy to my left has the ticket.
Yeah, I lost one top pick today. This was not a top pick that I lost out of this sequence, so I've got a $48 I lost. I was going 5 deep in the final leg. Lost a horse there. We'll get to the opener in a second. Race 2, I've got the 5, Calming Sea on top. Race 3, the 9, Single, tapping out a tune with Paco, who could have a big, big day today. Race 4, I've got the 4, and that is Bluish. Could be a little price in there, and then I'm spreading in race 5 with the top pick. And I misspoke. I do scratch into the 7, Kamari, the first-time starter. Team Cassie has a couple of them. We'll show you some AM activity from them as well, but that is a $48 early pick 5 ticket for me.
I like it. And in race number 1, it's 2-year-old fillies. They're $35,000 maiden claimers, 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. We lose the number 1, La Dinamita, and the number 11, La Cyber, not come into play today. And you land on the number 3 Episode.
Yeah, I just feel like you draw lines through the dirt races for this daughter of Maximus Mischief, and she's better than this field.
Yep.
Early betting, she's 8-5. She should be favored. It's Jose D'Angelo. It's Paco Lopez. We saw this yesterday, and I try to price these horses with Paco on the morning line, lower than maybe normal, and they've really actually taken it to another level.
They have,
and he's winning because he's great, phenomenal. But boy, Paco and Irad and Edgard, of course, Ayaz, but those are guys that are just going to take money regardless of what they're riding. And it puts the handicapper in a little bit of a precarious spot because, you might like a horse, you're going to have to take an underlaid price, and, you just try to get value where you can get it.
Yeah, and if nothing else, this horse, the significant class drop, and 2, just the fact that he's been facing way tougher and now comes back to the home court, whereas he's got 2/3, which helps quite a bit here. The number 9, I don't have anywhere. Zoe Zuchera. You'll have to talk me onto this one.
Well, here's a price, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is a maiden special weight dropper. We're going to cut back, chased and tired, routing last time. The horses are not running as good since they left Oscar Gonzalez, and they've gone to this barn. I get that, but this is a big, big drop, and I like the post. And we're getting value underneath because, quite honestly, anybody else I felt could be very suspect.
Yeah, I put the 7 on top because I like the fact that this horse has the 2-turn speed.
Yeah.
And honestly, that kind of speed, that those fractions she put up, sometimes the running lights can be a bit deceiving, but when you look at the fraction, she's actually pretty quick.
I played her last time.
Yeah.
I picked her last time because I thought the run 2 back was sneaky good is what I have in my notes. I don't just think she's very good.
Well, she was also on the rail last time.
Yeah.
Maybe you give her a little credit, but maybe she isn't any good. It's kind of outside of the 3, it's a bit more wide open.
And we'll find out about her today because if she's going to make a dent, it's in this spot
today. Yeah. Race 2, it is $8,000. Non-winners of 2, lifetime a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta track. We scratched the 2, red-haired girl. The number 3, Take Your Point, and I've got the early pick 4 ticket. I lost my single, so I had to do a little bit of a rework. We'll get into this race. Race number 3, I've got the 7 on top, Compa. Race number 4, I have the 6 on top. I do scratch into the 6. And in race number 5, I have the 2 on top, Maddie R. Our first grass race of the day. $18 is the play here. This race is quite a puzzle, Brian. Did you lose anybody up top?
No, I was okay in here. The only
Okay.
one I didn't have any of those horses on my ticket. Calming Sea, we get Kelly Breen. It's
Yeah.
Paco Lopez. The Tapeta races, albeit with Herman Samolensky, were pretty darn good efforts. And I think maybe, you could argue she's a little off form or slower than she was, but back here on the Tapeta today, I would think puts her best foot forward.
Yeah, we found a stat too on the Breen barn, and this is for turf to Tapeta, 10%, not the strongest.
No, it's not terrible. It's not good either. If you, I'm not going to make you do the math, but if he had one more winner, he's 15%. He's right there where he is with everything. So it's not great by any stretch of the imagination. But again, we've got speed. I like the fact that even though she's been slower on the turf of late, she hasn't lost her speed.
No, she hasn't, and that's a good indicator of kind of where they're going. The number 8, Spirit of Victory for the Steve Glasaris barn, going to stretch out, and I think that's key in a race like this. And I like the post, too.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing with her. You can see she's got prior route races that are good. Her one win came routing here on the Tapeta. Boy, 1 for 16. I don't like it all, but it is what it is, and Edgard's going to ride. He's going to stick around. That's a good sign.
I didn't pick LTE Stark Winter.
Wow. The streak is over at 16, apparently.
Yeah, it is. It was a good third last time, and that race, too, that they're coming out of the anonymous source race, everybody was a big price in there, and I don't really see that as a good race moving forward.
And that's why you're not going to see any of those. There's another race later on where I'm just a cabaret race. I'm not taking any of those kind of horses, and I'm doing the same here because Musical Journey just ran off the screen, and that someone had to be second and third field.
Race number 3, it's a maiden $12,500 level, 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. These are for 3 years old and upward. No scratches in this race. This is like one of the 2 races, I think, that didn't have any scratches today. The 9 on top for you, tapping out a tune for Kelsey Danner.
I walked over here and someone said to the security guard, Paco could win 6 races today, and that might be the over-under because he's on a lot of horses.
You're right, yeah.
That are very, very logical and maybe some that are very, very likely to win. Tapping out a tune, I think. Second off a layoff here. Kelsey Danner is going to come down here. You see her, another championship meet kind of trainer that's back in the entry box. She's going to win races, and when you're reaching out for Paco, to me it just says kind of go time. We legged up at Presque Isle last time. That's Tapeta over there as well. So the old all systems go angle, I think, we're tapping out a tune.
The number 7 has speed, and that's what I like about Compa here. And you've got a Misael aboard.
Yeah, so it's probably a send mission or at least a horse that's going to be forward. They bet this horse a little bit, made a middle move, and then tired. Jose D'Angelo's about 10% with first-time starters, so that wasn't a bad effort at all.
No.
Super-duper slow race, but, hey, that's what we're talking about when you're talking 12-5 maiden claimers. So.
Yeah, it just kind of is what it is at that point. Race number 4, it's 6 furlongs on that fast main track. It's a claiming $12,500 non-winners of 2 lifetime for fillies 3 years old or fillies and mares 4 and up, which have never won 2. We scratched the 2 Amana Rosa and the number 8 Sylvia V's Heroes here, and the number 4 Bluish on top for you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a total stab.
Yeah.
Admittedly, she might be way off form. I don't know. It's a trainer switch to Delgado from D'Angelo. 2 very, very high percentage guys. Couple works stand out here, though, since, whenever she's been back and she's been thumbing along pretty good.
Yeah.
And I look at the late September and early October drills, and they were pretty good. Probably going to just try to wire this field. We'll see what happens. She should be a square price in a race where darn well they're going to hammer. They can't bet enough on these being cone horses. So I don't get it, quite honestly. But, I don't know. Where's her form?
I don't know. I scratch into her.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't like her. Yeah, I did not want her at all on top. She's dropping in a huge way. But even when they drop sometimes, it doesn't matter. When their form's not there, the drop doesn't matter.
No, absolutely. And this is just begging somebody to claim this horse today. And maybe she wins and you get a good purse and they claim her and she's down the road with a different barn now, but you don't win at this game by taking horses like that.
No, and the number 1 you have to respect because she's coming off 2 wins now.
Well, without a doubt. Now there was an 8K2L when it was last seen in August, and that worried me because where have you been
Right.
off 2 straight? Ronnie Spatz isn't going to say, hey, let's dial it back a little bit. She's won 2 in a row. And
Let's take a break.
No. So something went amiss. But,
Yeah.
She's worked well, and Ronnie's so sharp, but the rail and that layoff bugged me a little bit.
I do not blame you there. Now, race number 5. It's a really competitive maiden special weight. These are 2-year-old fillies on the grass course, 5 furlongs on that grass course. The rails are at 66 feet. Yes, okay, just wanted to double check. The number 4, Grexie's A, is scratched. That's 2 weeks in a row now. She's been scratched, so put that in your notes. The number 7 on top for you, Kamari. And Kamari, and who's the other one? Oh, in all probability.
In all probability.
In all probability. There we go. Thank you. A little grammar lesson here. We'll take a look at the work. I'll let you talk about.
I scratch into her.
Okay.
So there's no, I like the more than ready filly, Grexie's A. We'll see. In all probabilities on the outside. You pulled it up. A little rank on the inside, right, with Kamari?
Well, I couldn't.
Trying to get out, maybe?
Yes, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
I watched a few works of Kamari, and she's trying to get out. Now, she's a 10 times better looking horse than the Improbable on the outside.
Yeah.
The Improbable does things pretty easily.
Tiny little thing. Huh?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I think Kamari is kind of a big filly, but if she can behave herself, and sometimes, we see it, and you talk about it a lot on these Tapeta races, that kind of swooping move they make on the turn. Maybe the wheels were just spinning more than she could kind of contain. The turns are a bit tighter there. So, but I guess the point of that is the 3 out, the 7, yes.
Yeah, and the 7 draws well today, too. She's right in the middle where you want to be. It's tough to anticipate any kind of trip where she's down on the inside like that. I said it yesterday. And if you chart paths and things like that on the racetrack, you're going to see the majority of the Tapeta horses that are moving well through the stretch be way out in the middle of the track. You don't necessarily pick it up on the pan, but look at the head-on when we run it afterwards, and you're going to see the majority of the horses coming down the crown of the track, the inside, and again, not really the place to be.
No, it's not. The number 2, Maddie R. Wow, you don't have her anywhere.
Why would I have her anywhere?
Yeah, exactly. Why would you? Blinkers go on. Mika Hudson gets on as well. I watched this filly's last 2 races. She moves like a grass horse to me. She just comes right out of the bridle, and she's got that high knee carry. Now, that can be deceiving sometimes because they could just be cheap. So we'll find out today.
Yeah, she might move like one, but she runs like one that's going to run a 36 by her, and it's going to be finished 7th. I mean, again, you take all the worst with it with her. Hopefully, you get a square price, but she's been not good at all. She couldn't win a 2-5 on debut in a 5-horse field.
The number 9, thankfully, we'll pull up the replay here because whenever I talk about horses coming out of the bridle, this is a prime example of that. Now, she's been gone for a little bit here, but watch how she just is completely off the bridle here, and then she just starts going up and down, and that's just such a key indicator of a horse really liking I mean, she's not going anywhere. Now, of course, Edwin has his reins dangling quite a bit, but she just doesn't have the bridle picked up at all. She's not kind of kept together. They didn't bet her, which they
Very
like
odd.
which is odd for the Gustavo Delgado barn. But I like the fact she's on the grass today.
Yeah, I mean, Unchained Elaine didn't win that race. Thankfully lost it. I mean, it's as simple as that. She was going to go by 5 different times and didn't feel like it. The freshening, the turf. I don't know. Tom's Day Todd on the top. Who knows? They didn't pay anything for this horse.
No.
Looks like they got a bargain. We know how prolific these guys are and the way their ability to find horses. Obviously, Mage at the top of the list, and then this JR Ranch. So these guys are sharp, and looks like they got another runner here.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And just take note of the rail setting with the 2 grass races today, because just speed is really good.
Absolutely.
Especially the 2 turns. The 1 turn we had a race yesterday, and I felt it played a pretty fair, but the horse that was supposed to win won the race.
Yeah,
so that's
without a doubt.
So.
I thought it was interesting quickly that Paco was on La Tremenda for Victor Barboza, the Matoli horse. I mean, what does he want to do running on turf? I don't know, but she's the one in here. Paco, I'm not playing musical jockeys at all, but you got Paco, and that's where he landed.
Yeah, and there was one work of her, and I couldn't really make a lot of it. She's super long-legged. I don't know what to do with that work. She's got that high knee again. It could be deceiving. She could just be cheap. So maybe pay attention to the tote board there. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got Ron Nicoletti's Rainbow 6 that kicks off in race number 6. We'll be right back.
new DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you. Ron Nicoletti, I think, is out fishing for the big fish we saw at the top of the hour. But he's got the Rainbow Six. He always makes time for that, and that is why he is the legend around here. And we'll take a look at it, and I will let you walk us through it.
Well, Ronnie hit it yesterday for over 300 and change. Yeah, that's what I said, too, because it was a very, very formful day.
Shocked.
So well done to him. Just keep it on. He'll go 3 deep in the opening leg. He's actually 3 deep in everything, and you can see race number 5. That is race number 10. The 5 is his single, Big Effect, who just absolutely ran like a new horse last time off the claim. We'll show you that race as well, and he's going to hit really hard. I mentioned Riley Mott. He's got the 2 Mr. Skylight back here, and he likes Gulfstream Park too. That is the Awesome Banner race 10, and it's a fun one for 3-year-olds.
It is. What a competitive little Rainbow Six. These are the days to get involved in places like this, and I like the sequence today. And wow, race 6 kicks off in a doozy, Brian.
Yeah.
We've got a lot to talk about, so we'll start with the number 3, Rolando, who this horse was nothing short of impressive first time out, and we'll take a look at the replay and I'll let you talk about him.
Yeah, because he was a steam horse, the Wild Works, the homebred for St. George Stable, and Fausto Gutierrez, who of course did so well with Latruska. And this horse was never ever losing. He has no idea what the heck he's doing either, by the way, and we'll show you that in a second, because he's actually going to hit the rail off in mid-stretch here. But just look how easily he did it this day. They bet him. He ran to it, and boy, he's an exciting prospect. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm sure his connections are thinking, off a debut like this, a whole heck of a lot more than just a race like this. You're going to see him veer in here when he's kind of shies a little bit, coming up right. Row right there, and he still wins in a canter. I'm excited to see the encore today, and he should, if he's going places, he should drub this field today.
Yep, he should. I put, my notes was broke like a rocket, never in doubt. The one you don't have anywhere, but this was a similar situation, and let's pull it up here, back him up. This was a really good looking horse here. They put this horse in for 50, and kind of a little bit similar to Rolando, a bit green. But of course they are, because when they have nobody else around them, where are they going to go? Now, Jose Ferrer rode this colt perfectly. This was a nice effort here by this horse. This horse, back him up, and your horse, Rolando, both ran 8s on the sheets. So not a lot separates them. The problem with this race, I thought, and you probably see it the same way, there's a lot of speed here. Yeah,
I don't see any scenario where back him up is going to try to see this out on the engine with Rolando pressing him and still being there at the wire. That's why he was a toss to me. There is a lot of speed in here, there's no doubt. But, Rolando showed a willingness to settle just a little bit in his first start. And I think that was a lot of, even though he was so green in the lane, he did show a lot of professionalism early.
Yeah, he did. The number 4, Curran, I think people are going to see this horse and maybe like him a lot more. I did, and then when I watched the replay, and we'll show it to you, I kind of backed off him just a little bit here. Now, this was at Keeneland. This horse that won the race is Macho Music. We saw here for Rohan. This horse was all out trying to chase Macho Music the whole time, and you kind of lose sight of him a little bit, but he's going to come back again here. Now, he's the one on the outside. This horse the whole way, Florent Giroux did not give him a second, and I just wanted to show that because he just got tired, and of course you are, because when we're chasing the fractions like that, 21, 44, and 56, okay, you're going to poop out.
Yeah, he was on the hard chase the entire way, and Rohan's got that speedball macho music. That was at a time when Keeneland on the inside, everybody was kind of just a old conveyor belt there. He's okay. The flow of the race might help him because, as you mentioned, there is a lot of speed in here. I played your horse last time. I got to be honest with you. I think he needs shorter than even 7 that he gets today.
Yeah, he could. You know, I kind of Hail Married put him up there because I just think that with Paco aboard, maybe he'll sit on that hot pace.
Yeah.
I almost put Lou on top. Admittedly, I did have Lou on top because I thought he's the deep closer here.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with him.
I didn't quite honestly. Obviously, we know who the favorite is going to be. I had no idea what to do underneath in this in terms of a morning line. You go back and watch Karen Basso's last race. He just folded badly.
Yep.
He wanted nothing to do with a mile.
Race 7. It starts the late pick 5, and this is a complicated race to kick it off. I've got my ticket. It is a $54 play. We'll take a quick look at it here. Race number 8, I do scratch into the number 4, Worldly Beauty. I had a single and I lost it with the 10 smart spending. Race number 9, I've got the 8 on top. That is Yano. Race number 10, there's my single, the number 6, Apollo Code. I kind of lose some value there. And in race number 11, I've got the 7 on top. That is Mr. Abario. The last race is a very tough one. $54 to play here. And Brian, these are $50,000 claimers for 2-year-olds. The 2 War Commander is out. The number 6 is out. This is a really tough race. The number 7 on top for you, Mustang Bay.
Yeah, you look at the Topeka race. It was by far better than anything he's done. And now he's in for a tag back on the Topeka. That's good enough for me. I don't want anything to do with a horse like Big Boy Jack.
Nope.
At an underlaid price, trying to wire the field on Topeka. Nope, especially going long on Topeka. So to me, it was kind of a pretty easy pick with Mustang Bay.
11, Rashid and Stone Cold Flex are coming out of the same race. And I wanted to show specifically for Rashid because I thought this horse ran a lot better than it looked like on paper, Brian, because you look where Rashid is and you look where Stone Cold Flex is.
Right.
Rashid did much more of the work, and before this horse angled out, he was on the rail down the backside. It's hard to debut going 2 turns. He tried hard, which you like to see. Stone Cold Flex is going to run 3rd, but look, everybody else is just chasing tanks. So I thought Rashid ran really, really well, and if I can get 12-1, I think that's pretty awesome.
Well, you can't anymore with 2 big scratches, but even if you get 6 or 8, I think it's fair on a horse that did run well. Did Tank run 3rd in the stakes last week?
Yes.
Turf stakes, so that race is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And I've got no problems with, trying to look for a little bit of value in a spot like this, that's for sure, because, again, we're just not picking Big Boy Jack.
Right, exactly. That's just the main play here in it. He can win, but he can win without us. It doesn't do anybody good to put him in your ticket. Now, race number 8, it is a claiming $10,000 level, 1 mile and 70 yards on the Topeka track here. You've got a late pick 4 ticket.
I do, and we'll go 3 deep here and get to that one in a second. I've got my best bet in race 9. That's Mo Vanishing, just very, very low-hanging fruit there. In race 10, that good overnight stakes in is the 2 Mr. Skylight back at Gulfstream on top. You have a wild single in there. I can't wait to hear about that. And long shot in race 11, and it is a stab with Copper Light, the 3-horse with Ken and Nolan Ramsey. In a wide, well, I'll tell you what, if you need to get out, and I hope you don't need to get out when we get to the last, I hope you've got plenty of ammo in the bankroll, but if you need to get out, that's the race.
It's so tough. Race 8, we could talk about this race for an hour and probably not come up with the winner here. Race that you've got the 5 Bramble Bay, winless in 2 years. That's what kind of race this is.
Yeah, so here's the thing, okay? It's an admitted auto default pick. There's 5 horses. Now 4 of the 10 horses in this field come out of the Cabaret race, who won Cabaret's the 6-horse at 25-1. Absolutely am I not picking anybody out of that race. It was a blanket finish. They're all on the line together. We could show it to you, but there's nothing to decipher. So why not go with Paco? Why not go with Kelly Breen? Why not go with a horse that's run 1 time on the Gulfstream Topeka and was a pretty darn good second, and she has still kept her form up at the shore over the summer. Yep,
she has. And the Meadowlands track is a kind of a tough one to run on. You either like it or you don't, and she actually ran quite well on it. So that's a good good thing. The number 4 Worldly Beauty at least doesn't exit that
Yes.
aforementioned race, but again, the barn very cold, so I scratch into this horse.
Yeah, if you need this horse, you want to see this horse like 8 to 5
Yeah.
by post time, because she'd run a lap around this field if the Worldly Beauty that was with Oscar Gonzalez brings her A game. Well, there's a couple things now. I don't think she's got the A game anymore, and she's not with Oscar Gonzalez anymore, and now you can have her for 10. So I have no idea what you're getting, but you can't play a real ticket without her, I'll tell you that
No,
much.
this is a race where if you have leverage somewhere else,
Right.
I highly suggest, I hate to suggest an all ball, but sometimes you just have to do it in a spot like that. Race number 9, it's $25,000 claimers, 1 mile and 70 yards. On the Tapeta track, we scratched the number 4. He's a good dancer. I think that was named after Ron. And the number 6, Dune Road. And the number 10, You Talking to Me. The 9 on top for you, Mo Vanishing. It looks like 8998 here.
Yeah, it looks like about 3 to 5. I'm Mo Vanishing now with the scratches, and she's just, I mean, you can argue it's not a great sign to see her in for a tag, but it's a quarter. She's not in for 8.
No.
You still got to reach into your pocket
That's
and
a
take
lot
out
of money,
$25,000, okay? And she's legitimately on paper, she might be 2 to 5 in this race, sometimes the way they bet the D'Angelo horses.
Yeah, the number 8, Yano. This horse for the Sandino barn, that Sandino, you catch him, right? I haven't been able to catch him yet, but this is a barn that pay attention to, and I think a good horse to use.
With Amity Racing especially.
Exactly. Race number 10, this is our overnight stakes, and what a good one it is as well. The number 1, Secret Lover, is out. This is 7 furlongs, by the way. The number 3, Boomchero, is out. And the number 5, oh good, you didn't put the 5 on top, but let's watch the replay first of this horse, and I'll let you talk about it. This was impressive.
Yeah, so this horse, this is a stakes race for 3-year-olds today. This is a huge class drop for this horse. I don't know where this came from. He is not supposed to finish going away like this. Look what he's doing here. Hurricane J is pretty good. Mish, we know how good Mish is.
Yes.
He absolutely drowns this field. 21-1. And he's just going to pull away. He's supposed to stop on a dime, and he just keeps going. I know he's going 7 today, but that's probably, to be honest, better for him, because he's not going to have to run as fast.
Right.
He's controlling in here. He's just going to hit another gear. This is off the claim for Rohan. They're going to have to run this horse down today. I got to see more. They bet him last time. I think I had him at 12 to 1 on the morning line. They bet him like he was going to run, and my goodness, did he run.
Yeah, that was a confusing effort there. The number 2, Mr. Skylight. Blinkers come off. I like it. You probably don't like the rail now.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but you look at this horse, okay? He doesn't want or need to be on the lead. We already know who's going to be on the lead.
Yeah.
Paco is going to be aggressive, but that's fine, because hopefully he'll be able to aggressive, get him to the outside. This is a very, very good horse that you can easily draw lines through his 2 bad races.
Right.
On the Tapeta at Presque Isle, and he didn't break last time at Churchill. Draw a line through those 2 races, and he is rock solid for Riley Mott.
He is, and at least the horse knows the track and likes the track. That's a good sign here. You found a stat, too, with Riley Mott, or Ron did.
Yeah, we'll take a look
stat
at it.
boy here, because this is pretty good. Shippers into Gulfstream Park.
Yeah.
Now, very small sample, but this is a good one, considering the barn is still just a young barn.
Well, I think that's you said it perfectly. Not only is the barn, he's a young trainer, son of Hall of Famer Bill Mott, of course, but this was also last year, his first foray down here to Hollandale Beach. So he's getting his feet wet a little bit, and he showed last year that he knows what he's doing for sure.
Yeah.
And this horse is a very, very nice horse for Riley.
I've got the 6 Apollo Code on top, and I want to show the replay because this horse ran his eyeballs out, and I love to see this. This was so game. Thank you, guys. He was... Okay, it says 7 wide upper. He was 4 wide. Let's just the paths on the DRF, sometimes I don't understand. But look at this move, Brian. And when you look at big effect, and then you look at an animal like this, the stride is twice as long, and it's just going away. I know this word state breds here, but these are not bad horses by any means. Sandy Sweettooth won the race, and look at the price here. This horse just ran so hard, and I love that just bleeping stride, the way he grabs the ground.
Looks like he hung really badly there too.
Well, the other horses had it way easier than he did too.
Yeah, he's fine. He's got to run way fast. These are real horses today, and I'm not disparaging those horses there. Those are state bred 1Xs.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I do think that the barn is starting to warm up.
Yeah.
This is a great post position.
And he's got to be a price.
I hope he is. He's got to be. But I think this horse is very dangerous. I'm very bold. I'm taking a stand with the single here. But I just think that he's a really nice horse, and we'll see it today. Now, race 11. This is really the ultimate get-out race. You could go so many different ways. It's a mile on the grass course, our second turf race of the day, 66 feet. The rails, pay attention to speed here, but sometimes the speed can be deceiving. The number 5 Salvatore Prince is out. The 10 Cuban Thunder, that was a late one. That horse is out. The number 10 and the number 12 Mugatu is out. That's 2 weeks in a row. Mugatu scratches. Put that in your notes. The number 3 on top for you, Copperlight.
It's a total stab. I think it's interesting, though. A couple things going on here. He was avoided claim back in June.
Yep.
They had to go all the way to the 8,002L level to get it done with him, okay? His turf race, when he was avoided claim, was dreadful. He literally walked home. But now, all of a sudden, he's got a little mojo again. And you know what's going on here today? You can't claim him anymore. And I thought that was significant.
No.
They don't want to lose him anymore, Ken and Nolan Ramsey. So we'll take a stab. We've got a nice post in here. Value for anybody with 3 scratches, unfortunately, is kind of sort of out the window, but he should still offer it. And this is, as she said and I said, a wide open. What an awesome finale.
It is.
To wrap up a good card.
His dam was one of my favorite horses to gallop.
Tapalite?
Yeah, Steve Asmussen had the dam, and I rode her every morning at Remington. I loved her so much. But just a little side note. But yeah, the grass races at Indiana, they're not as competitive as here.
No.
But hey, at least we know that he does like the grass. The number 7, Mr. Abario, I didn't want to put on top, but we'll take a look at the replay here on the grass. This was his last race. This was under Tayshaun Hazelwood, and you know what I like is we're going to get Mika today.
Yeah.
And Tayshaun is good, but I think Mika can finish a little bit stronger.
Yeah, he's really shown now. I mean, obviously he's riding a bunch of Cadillacs
Good
for
horses,
Safi, but still, he has shown now it's not just Safi Joseph giving him winners. I agree with everything you said. You even get a little weight break here as well. He's the best horse. Nobody's disagreeing with that. The unfortunate thing, especially with 3 scratches now, he might be sitting up there at 2-1, and I don't really feel like his margin for error. Those are state breds, by the way.
Exactly.
We're in open waters here today. The mission is a little more difficult.
Yep, it is. It's a very competitive race to end the finale. Now, quickly, we'll get into the lightning round before we send it up to Darren Gagne upstairs. Taste of the track. It's coming up here pretty soon. Martinis, paninis, and linguini.
I saw on the website, actually, they have, I believe, the whole winter of Taste at the Track kind of mapped out. So check that out.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's very, very popular.
It's good food.
It's good food. Booze, obviously, is always,
You're a martini guy, aren't you?
I'm not really, but I mean, if you put it in front of me, I'm going to drink it. But
yes.
It's not my go-to. But they are very, very well received, and they typically sell out. So you got to, we flash these early because you need to get tickets for these
because
things.
we can't show them the week of. They're already sold out.
Exactly.
So, and speaking of things selling out, as we're gearing up, we're less than 3 weeks away now to the championship meet. Very exciting time. We're, Brian alluded to it. We're getting all the big-time trainers back in the entry box. And look at this, Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. Gobble, gobble.
Yeah, that's exciting. So we'll kick it off. That's new for us, running on Thanksgiving, and that's when we will kick off the championship meet. So in December, we had Thursday racing, and, of course, in January, February, and March, we'll add Wednesday racing as well.
Very exciting times ahead. Your best bet today?
Yeah, race number 9, a little bit of a very short price on Mo Vanishing, the 9 horse.
Hey, sometimes you have to take it. Mine is my single and my late pick 5. That is race number 10, the 6 Apollo Code, your long shot. Yeah,
my long shot's a race later, and that is the 3 Copperlight in that tough finale.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I don't remember where my long shot is.
Well, you had your long shot scratch yesterday. There you go.
There we go. Yeah, it was yesterday. Right. But yep, in the opener. So we'll see. I like the 10-1 right now, and we like everybody joining us. Thank you wherever you are watching. Ron will be out in just a minute, but Darren Gagne is upstairs. He will give you the scratches and the changes. Best of luck. Have a fabulous Saturday.